Well, hey everyone, there's some really cool stuff that's come up recently in terms of, obviously, Blu-ray news. Some stuff that's getting up on the 4K stuff, and some stuff that's getting a little bit of a sort of refresh on the HD format here. And first thing I want to hit upon is that at WatcherCon, which is sort of the online virtual convention for the Highlander franchise, Highlander the series is coming to Blu-ray. Now, this isn't like they went back to the original negatives and recut everything, did like a Star Trek The Next Generation complete remaster that cost millions of dollars. It's much more niche franchise. Can't go extravagant in terms of that recreation, stuff like that, but apparently they have gone back to the original master tapes, retransferred everything again, obviously new technology to a certain degree, and do some advanced upscaling and digital enhancements, cleaned up the color, go back to the original original aspect ratio, because apparently on streaming it's been kind of zoomed in and cropped down to 16:9, going back to 4:3 for this. Now, the awesome type of thing is that the trailer that they showed and now have released was cut together by Hippie Daylight, the person who gave me all that wonderful stuff about Highlander 2 for the Retro Video Series episode, the one who's working on that original restoration of the European cut of the film. He took care of that shit, and it was really fantastic. I told him that looks great, and I might be interested on this depending on the price point, which has not been released, nor a solid sort of release date. So, just says coming soon. We don't have a whole lot of things, but there are apparently new commentary tracks on this thing, and all the other archival stuff they had back on the old Anchor Bay DVDs and stuff like that. Now, I know, like, Season 1 came out on Blu-ray a long time ago, and people were very kind of up on their craw about the whole thing, because obviously, again, it's from standard definition material, but now they're much more being upfront about things. They've gone back and done a little bit more cleanup and, like I said, restoration on that source format to kind of make it a little bit more proper and presentable. Obviously, the compression is going to be much better than it was on the old DVDs now, so there's going to be a lot of things that, like, it might be worth the upgrade from people who already have the original series set on DVD. They obviously did some work on this to make it kind of pump it up a little bit, especially new bonus features, stuff like that. So I think it's probably going to be pretty worthwhile. I'll see what we get up on when we get a release date, and we get some pricing and stuff like that. So might be worthwhile, and hopefully eventually we'll get some other, not that we're directly talking about the films or anything like that, because most of that's like in the hands of Paramount and Miramax, stuff like that, but hopefully stuff like that will happen. But the original Highlander is coming out on Ultra HD 4K soon, both through Lionsgate and StudioCanal. So they did the 4K remaster quite a few years ago. I picked up the regular Blu-ray of it, and it looked really fantastic. It definitely was a step up in quality over the previous Blu-ray. So I didn't get a firm release date. There's been no like real press release about it, but it's kind of hit up on a couple retailer pre-orders here and there. So nice little things coming up on Highlander. If you want the original film, you'll get it on Ultra HD. Or you can get the series when it gets a little bit more up on the pre-order, stuff like that. Should be interesting to kind of check it out and get that up and going and stuff like that. So I think the series was really one of the best things past the first film, because everything else is kind of debatable in terms of the quality at best. So a lot of stuff with the series, they have a lot of great episodes, a lot of great character arcs and storylines, great villains, good stuff there. And talking a little StudioCanal as well, they're doing a 40th anniversary 4K restoration on The Howling from Joe Dante, one of my favorite films. I absolutely love that goddamn film. It's my favorite werewolf film of all time. And so they're getting it up on the Ultra HD thing, did a full 4K restoration. Didn't say if it was like from the original camera negative or this, that, and the other thing, but probably. And they do have a new featurette just documenting Joe Dante's career throughout his filmography, stuff like that. So there'll be a nice little added bonus thing in there. There's a bunch of archival stuff as well. So probably a lot of stuff from the old DVD special edition that was very comprehensive. And Screen Factory, when they did their own releases of it, didn't have a whole lot in terms of like to add on top of that. They had a few little things, but the original documentary from the DVD was very, very full and comprehensive. So just having a nice little extra thing for that and getting the whole thing up on HD. And the StudioCanal will be a combo pack with the remastered Blu-ray on it as well, but nothing in terms of stateside just yet about if anyone in the States is going to pick that up or If Screen Factory still has a license for it from MGM, we'll just have to wait and see where that lands, but nothing yet has come on that front. Now, Kino Lorber's got some really fantastic stuff coming up, including Night Gallery, the Rod Serling series he did after The Twilight Zone. This was a much more horror-based series, and it was really goddamn good. I sampled several episodes years ago. Really good stuff overall, and they're doing brand new 2K scans of the entire series. Season 1 coming out November 23rd with a bunch of audio commentaries from film historians, stuff like that. So they're really pouring this into like a really special package. I think it's really worthwhile. If you've never actually gone and looked at Night Gallery, it's really worthwhile, because Twilight Zone's had horror stuff here and there, but it was kind of more of a science fiction themed series. Night Gallery is where the horror stuff really thrived for him, and he did a really fantastic job with that. So Kino Lorber hitting up really good there, and we have specs for their Invasion of the Body Snatchers 78 Ultra HD 4K release. Now, the new 4K scan from the original camera negative, the color grading is supervised by director Philip Kaufman, and they're porting over all the bonus features. They're on the Screen Factory set, on the Arrow Video set, all this stuff, back to the DVDs. It's all there. So you could trade up completely. They've been doing, like I've been saying before, they've done fantastic work so far, and I'm really itching, because the 78 Invasion of the Body Snatchers is one of the most terrifying films I've ever seen. I absolutely love this movie. Just everything about it. I did a review of it many years ago, and it's just gushingly beautiful. Gushingly just involved with the entire film. It's a brilliant piece of work. I just have to see the wonderful sort of noirish type of lighting and the paranoid sensibilities just amplified on that thing. I think the Screen Factory one was from the Interpositive. So this is going to be definitely a much bigger upgrade over that. You're just going to see it. I think this, again, I think it's a magnificent film. Scary, terrifying, wonderful thematic material, incredible cast, beautiful film altogether. And the Australian label Imprint Films just announced a couple of new horror titles they're putting out, and a lot of this stuff is a little pricey to import, because they put out this really nice special edition for Fire in the Sky months ago. But it was always a little too expensive, and I felt like I really don't want to pay that much. Maybe someone else in the U.S. will pick up the rights and stuff like that. None of that's happened. It's kind of gone a little bit out of print, and I really God damn it, I really wish I got it. But if anyone's interested enough, they're putting out Blu-ray sets for like Stir of Echoes, which I absolutely love it, Kevin Bacon film, which they've got new interviews with different people on the whole film. And they're pouring over all the stuff from the old special edition DVD from Lionsgate, where Lionsgate's Blu-ray does not include that stuff. Now, I think it's the exact same transfer, but I've just been waiting for, like, Stir of Echoes to just get all that stuff poured over and maybe a brand new scan or something like that. Give it a special edition treatment on the HD format. So far, this seems like the closest thing we're going to get. And, of course, the Jeff Hay film Body Parts is also being included with this thing, and a couple of little films like Possession of Joey Delaney and The Medusa Touch, and the really good film The Gift, which had Kate Blanchett and Keanu Reeves. I think it was directed by Sam Raimi. Kind of an underrated film that kind of got a little bit overlooked, but I've had the DVD for like 20 years now. It's a really good, surprising film. Keanu's great in the movie. Kind of creepy and stuff like that. Really good stuff overall, but hasn't gotten much of an HD treatment over here in the States for Blu-ray, so that'd be kind of nice. And they got a few other little titles in terms of Let's Scare Jessica to Death and Tam Lean, the 1970 film. So they got a few little things going on that type of way. So they're a small label that's kind of building up a catalog of films up on their library. So I don't think they've done anything with like new scans or stuff like that, but they're at least getting licenses, putting all the stuff on there in terms of the bonus features that are already existing, maybe adding a little bit extra stuff. So, like I said, they usually kind of cost around like $35 or something like that, and then you have to pay certain fees to import it. If you go through like deep discount here in the U.S., sometimes they usually have their titles, but again, they don't go down in price very much in terms of like compared to if like a U.S. label was releasing it, probably around $20 or so. You're going to be paying a whole lot more for it. So it's a a little bit of a give and take how much you exactly want to get these on the HD format, and so how much you're willing to shell out for it. But another John Carpenter film to kind of talk about is that Assault on Precinct 13 has been going through a 4K restoration from a pretty new label called Deaf Crocodile, and they shared some footage of this whole thing where not exactly finished footage in terms of like color grading and stuff like that, but at least giving a sensibility of like how the scan looks and how much good work they're going through restoring it and cleaning it up, stuff like that. One of the representatives seemed to imply that Scream Factory might pick up their restoration of it sometime in the near future. Now, this has been going on for pretty much about the beginning of the years when I started hearing about this, so it's been a bit of a process and stuff like that, but don't want to rush a John Carpenter film restoration, I'd imagine, and that's one of the films that probably needs it. I thought the Blu-ray that's already out looks pretty good now, but obviously seeing the footage they have definitely looks like a major improvement overall, so they'll be interested to see how that goes along, but it's not really confirmation. It's kind of like just a random remark put out there, so it's not like they have a license in place or something like that they've confirmed, but eventually it'll have to get released somehow once they get it done, and so Scream Factory's definitely got the resources to make a nice wide-end release, and they've already done a steelbook release and other different things, and they can port over all the bonus features and get the licenses for all that type of stuff. So we'll see how that goes, but I definitely would be very interested to see that film get the 4K upgrade, because most John Carpenter films have got that treatment, and it's really kind of nice to make sure that his films are preserved for all of us genre fans. So guys, that's all I really have at this point in time. So oddly enough, a lot of these things I've covered on the update, fair amount of them, I do have reviews of them. Stir of Echoes and Invasion of the Body Snatchers and a few other things here and there. So you can check out also my Highlander videos, which are many, many, many of them. So like I said, interesting stuff. I think, again, that Highlander, the complete series Blu-ray, doing a nice piece of work. And Heavy Daily was like, don't judge it too much on the compression on the YouTube video, because YouTube's compression is kind of shit. So I have problems with it myself. It's like, my videos do look better than this, but you compress the crap out of them, and it's like, wish there was some option to get like a premium encode type of thing like Vimeo gives me, stuff like that. But nice that he was able to cut that together for the con and now release it and stuff like that, and it's like really kind of cool stuff. So that'll be nice to actually see some proper comparisons, and we'll see how things go along once we get closer to a announced release date. So guys, let me know what you're very much excited about and what's going to go up on the pre-orders or the wish list, or just going to keep an eye out for in general. So I'll be up on new stuff eventually. I am working on other reviews, and we're going to get up some new commentaries very shortly on the channel. So guys, thanks much. Take care. Bye-bye.